presentation today, before we have a few questions and then eat, is Rashid, who is the founder of Truly Living Well Natural Urban Farms.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Well, that was a pretty powerful presentation.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
After the elephants are on parade, someone has to come behind and clean them. I don't mind doing that because I'm an urban farmer. And I like to take all that stuff. I'll make compost out of it. Sarah asked me to come and tell you a little bit about what is Truly Living Well, what we do. And I'd also like to tell you how we do it and why we do it in a very few minutes. I know I'm competing with the food and smell that good food. And I do want you folks to have an opportunity to ask some questions because I think that's the best chance we have for interaction and being able to address some issues you have. Truly Living Well, been in Atlanta now. This is our 5th season in Atlanta. We have multiple sites where we grow food in the city. I am an urban farmer. I've been blessed to travel the world and see how local food economies are developed around the world and have tried to bring that back here to inform my work. The first thing I did out of college was put in urban farms, urban gardens out in San Diego County back in the early 30s. I'm old, not that old. Back in the early 70s. People think we're crazy for doing what we do now. You can imagine what they thought back then. Okay, so it's when I meet young people. Most of you folks here are younger than I am, who are doing pioneering work, trying to transform the institutions that we are part of. I admire that. It takes a lot of courage, a lot of strength. You're going to get shot at, beat down, but you have to continue doing it. Truthfully, I've either been fired or quit or fired from just about every job I've ever had, because that's the attitude I've always taken, just taking on institutions. Now at this stage, I can't get fired now, because I started an organization, and there's not many people want to do the work that we do. The work is no joke. And if y'all have been out in the garden, the number of you have been out to our farm, seen what kind of things we do. The work is no joke, but I think it's very important. We have multiple sites. You know that 80% of Americans live in urban areas. Okay? We're no longer a rural country. Most of the places in the world are still rural. But in America, 80% of the population lives in the city. Atlanta is the greenest city in America by virtue of open space and trees. There's enough land in the metropolitan area to provide all the fruits and vegetables to feed everybody if we utilize that land, but we don't. So this is what we've taken on as our mission. Part of our mission, part of it, is to utilize this land, teach people to grow where they are, right? To grow food in the community where people can see it. If you come to see our sites, we are in residential areas. We've just taken vacant land, captured it, and grow food. We have 3 locations, primarily on the southwest area, one in East Point on Washington Road where we have our weekly market, another one on Harbin Road, which is between Campbellton and Cascade over in southwest Atlanta, and then one right on the Clayton-Fayette County line, down there where Evander Hollifield lives. Y'all seen this place? Well, I wish I could get hold of that. We could make a beautiful farm. All about the big castle we have up there. We are a program, we actually have 2 companies. We have Truly Living Well Natural Urban Farms, which is an LLC, profit-making company. And we have Truly Living Well Center for Natural Urban Agriculture. We run our education programs out of that. I think we're really morphing. My son works with me. It's a real pleasure. I was a single parent for many years, 6 children. My son, some of you have met, was like my wife and mother to his siblings. We used to fight all the time. We still do, but it's positive, much more positive now. So it's really a pleasure to have him, this boy, come from Wall Street. First time he came down and saw what I was doing, he looked at me and he says, well, what else are you going to do? And because this work that we're involved in, I am a very, very rich man. I have children who are doing well. I have good friends in all walks of life. I haven't missed any meals. I don't have a lot of cash in my pocket, but I'm rich because of the experiences I have. And much of that comes from the interaction that I have with people like yourselves, the folks that come to our gardens to do our work. Our program has 3 legs to it. The first is the production of quality food. And I can say that we produce quality foods because our customers tell me so. All of our food is hand grown. We minimize equipment and use of our work. The second leg, and the reason is because of the second leg, we try to help people attain horticultural literacy. Most people have no idea where their food comes from. And I can remember when I was in graduate school, Juana Trujillo Vega. I said, Juana, what you gonna do? And the stores are different stores in Massachusetts. What you gonna do if they close Kroger? She says, I'm gonna walk across the street to Publix. I said, you don't get it. If Kroger doesn't have any food, Publix is not gonna have any food. So what are we gonna do? This brings about issues of food sovereignty, okay? If I control your food, I control you.
Absolutely.
And so it's very important that people understand where the food you eat travels 1,500, 2,000 miles to get to your table. That's a long way away. And if you want to talk about, so sometimes the issue, conversations about organic food versus local food, which is better. Would you rather have an organic cherry from apple from Washington or a local apple from Georgia? Well, the truth is, well, we trump all of that because it's both local and organic. All our food is natural. No chemicals, no pesticides. And the methodologies that we teach in our agriculture education programs is to, all you need is to keep it simple. Hoe, rake, and a shovel, and you can grow food. You can grow food in your backyards, in your front yards, your side yards, on your patios, on your balconies, in containers. Okay? You don't have to have a whole lot of equipment to grow food, particularly in the city, particularly to be able to feed yourself. So how do we do this for agriculture education? We have a tremendous number of programs, opportunities rather than programs, people coming through. We have trainees, tours. We bring young people, children in. We want them to get hands-on experience, and they have the opportunity to put their hands in the soil. You know, a lot of the terms that you hear in agriculture, here in life come from agriculture, particularly in the spiritual realm. You know, you can talk about someone, you meet someone who's flighty, is kind of all over the place, you say they're not well grounded. Right? Putting your hands in the soil to become grounded. We try to help people do that. 2 years ago, I was an artist in residence. I really get a kick out of this. I was an artist in residence at Woodward Academy. You know, that's that rich school down there in the South Side. Now, you know, usually an artist in residence is a dancer, or a photographer, or a painter, or a filmmaker, something. But here, I just play in the dirt all day. Okay? And they asked me to come out there and work with those children. And that was a wonderful thing. So through this, one of the things that we have identified, every week I'm asked to come to an event to present food, participate in farmers markets. People are always asking, looking for local food. Can we have a farmers market in this community? Can you come to our health fair and bring some food out there to sell to people? And the issue is, where is that food going to come from? Now, who's going to produce it? We're looking at food deserts. I'll get to that in a minute. Where is that food going to come from? So one of the things that we have seen is that in order for there to be more food, there's got to be somebody to grow the food. And who's going to train the farmers? Well, we decided that's going to be part of our work. So the agricultural education projects that we have, whether it's teaching classes, we have half-day classes, we have a couple of hour classes. Anybody knows me and that knows I'm going to talk about food.